the Mazda RX-7, a car that became a legend far beyond its specs or numbers. For many, it's more than just a sports car. It's a symbol of an era, a memory, and a feeling. When you see its low, sleek silhouette and that deep metallic orange shine, you don't just see a car, you see culture. Born in the 1990s, the RX-7 represented the peak of Mazda's engineering creativity. While other manufacturers chased power through bigger engines and brute force, Mazda took a different path. They chose innovation, lightness, and precision. At the heart of the RX-7 was something truly unique: the rotary engine. Unlike a traditional piston engine, the rotary design uses a spinning triangular rotor to create power. Compact, lightweight, and capable of extremely high revs, it gave the RX-7 its distinctive character: smooth, fast, and endlessly responsive. It didn't just sound different, it felt different. The way it revved, the way it delivered power, was alive. The 1995 model, known as the FD generation, is considered by many to be the finest RX-7 ever built. It was lighter, sharper, and more aerodynamic than any of its predecessors. Its twin-turbo rotary engine produced around 276 horsepower. Not an outrageous number, but when combined with a weight of just 1,250 kilograms, it created a driving experience that few cars could match. Every part of the RX-7 was designed with purpose. The chassis was perfectly balanced, the steering precise, the suspension tuned for feedback and control. It wasn't about raw power, it was about connection. When you sat behind the wheel, you felt every movement, every vibration, every heartbeat of the car. It responded like an extension of your body, not a machine under your control. The design itself was pure emotion: long hood, short tail, flowing curves, timeless proportions that gave it presence even when standing still. In a world full of sharp edges and aggressive lines, the RX-7 was graceful, elegant, and purposeful. And when that bright orange paint appeared on movie screens, it became unforgettable. In the early 2000s, the RX-7 reached global fame thanks to the Fast and the Furious. Driven by Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, the bright orange RX-7 became an instant symbol of street racing culture. It wasn't just a car, it was a character, part of the story, part of the identity of a generation. For millions of fans, that scene, the RX-7 racing through the neon lights of Los Angeles, was the moment they fell in love with cars. But behind the movie fame lies a true performance legend. The RX-7 wasn't built for fame or luxury, it was built for drivers. Its lightweight design and perfect 50-50 weight distribution made it one of the best handling cars of its time. It danced through corners with precision and grace, capable of outperforming cars far more powerful and expensive. It was a driver's car in the purest sense. The rotary engine, while brilliant, was also demanding. It required care, attention, and understanding. But for those who knew how to treat it right, it rewarded them with performance that felt magical. The twin-turbo system worked in stages. One turbo for low RPMs, and a second that kicked in at higher speeds, creating a surge of power that felt endless. It wasn't about torque or numbers. It was about feel. That's what made it special. Inside, the RX-7 was minimalistic, focused entirely on the driver. Everything was angled toward the cockpit. The seats were low, the steering perfectly sized, the gauges simple and clear. It wasn't about luxury, it was about experience. When you started the engine, you didn't just hear it, you felt it vibrate through the chassis, through your hands, through your soul. Over the years, the RX-7 has become one of the most beloved cars in automotive history. Not because of its specs, but because of what it represents: creativity, individuality, and rebellion. In a world that often plays it safe, Mazda took a risk with a rotary engine, and that risk created something unforgettable. The RX-7 wasn't built to follow the rules. It was built to break them. It was the underdog, the challenger, the car that dared to be different. And that's why people connected with it. Because it symbolized freedom on the track The RX-7 was a formidable machine. Its agility and balance made it a natural racer. In the Japanese Super GT series, it became a symbol of Mazda's commitment to performance and innovation. And on the streets, it became a canvas for creativity, modified, tuned, and personalized by enthusiasts around the world. From Tokyo to Los Angeles, from mountain passes to movie screens, the RX-7 became a global icon. Today, seeing one on the road is like seeing a piece of history. The way the sunlight hits its curves, the distinct sound of the rotary engine, it instantly draws attention. It's not the fastest car anymore, but it doesn't need to be. Its presence speaks louder than numbers ever could. The RX-7 teaches something important about car culture. It's not always about who's the fastest or most powerful. It's about what a car makes you feel. That's why, decades later, people still dream of owning one, restoring one, or even driving it once. The orange RX-7 from Fast and Furious might be the most famous, but every RX-7 carries that same spirit. It represents a time when cars were built with passion, when engineers and designers pushed boundaries for the sake of innovation. It represents a love of driving, pure, simple, emotional. The RX-7 wasn't meant to last forever, but its legend will. Even though Mazda ended rotary production, the RX-7's influence continues to inspire new generations. It lives in every lightweight, perfectly balanced sports car that follows. It lives in the dreams of enthusiasts who remember that unmistakable sound and the way it made them feel. The Mazda RX-7 will always be remembered not just as a car, but as an emotion, a feeling of freedom, rebellion, and pure driving joy. It's the car that defined a generation, in movies, in games, and in hearts. And even today, decades later, its flame still burns bright. The Mazda RX-7, a rotary masterpiece, a cultural icon, and a legend that proves true performance never fades, it just evolves.